Okay, because the audio is live now. You can probably figure that out, that you can hear us so far, but you can't see us until now. So you can see us. Better infinity, watch this. True believers, welcome back. It's another episode of Wait. Did I roll a wild?
Wait, the power phase.
Oh yeah, the wild roll. Your Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. I'm Tim. I have a computer. And with me tonight is Dan. The guy that sits in that chair, Cole. All the way from upstairs.
Yeah, whose computer constantly reflects in his glasses.
That is true. I do always turn down the brightness of my screen so people can see my beautiful blue eyes.
That's a good idea, especially since the page I'm looking at is mostly white.
That's also another thing. You got to go dark mode on Chrome. That's a huge part of it. Especially when like you're in a book club and you don't want to seem like you're like an anime villain, like pushing up your glasses that are like all like stark white.
Oh, does he look like Kevin from Sin City?
Yes, actually.
Or the professor from
I was thinking
Weapon X?
I was thinking like any evil dad that runs a corporation in anime that always has a yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to change the reference to what I understand.
Oh, gotcha. Fair. Super fair.
It's like the one aspect of nerddom I'm not into is anime.
You also always have to push up your glasses with either your middle finger or your ring finger for that. And that's so unnatural for me. I always push up my glasses with my tongue. Yeah. But, guys, anyway, we are here to talk about a whole bunch of stuff this week. Oh, Beef Dragon, hello. How are you? Welcome to chat. We're going to talk a little bit about Taylor on Wednesday, streaming some terrain making. We're going to talk a little bit about, the power phase this week, where Chuck and I threw down and Chuck got obliterated. And I'm sure that he will want to relive that experience over and over. We're going to talk about the What If event that is going to be coming up on May 28th. At Bearded Dragon Games and Hobbies, where we're going to be running the Adepticon 2022 What If event at our local game store, our LGS. We're going to have some people from around the community showing up to that one, so we're super excited. It's going to be capped out at 12 people, so there's a Longshanks link in the description of this video and of this stream, so make sure to check that out and get signed up if you want in for that, because it is going to be a very limited event. In addition to that...
I'm signed up.
We're going to be... You are, Mr. Bad... Was it Dan Bad GM Cole or Mr.
I
Bad
think,
GM?
yeah, I think it was like Dan Bad GM Cole.
Super excited.
Can I play in that event?
You can. So, yeah, I'm going to TO it. I think I'll be streaming it as well. And potentially Danny might. I know she talked about really wanting to be able to commentate on it. So, but
we'll depends on kid coverage.
That's true. Just put a tarp on them. It's fine. It covers them
Feels
fully.
like that.
In addition to that, we're also going to be talking about some of the spoiler-y stuff that was dropped this week from Atomic Mass Games, potentially...
the pseudo-reveal.
Talking about some new characters that might be coming out with some silhouettes.
I feel like it's not a spoiler when it's from the company that makes the game. It's just a reveal.
I just didn't... Well, and it wasn't revealed. It was like not-ish revealed.
We know who they are. We're fairly certain.
I think he could still go a couple ways. I think.
I'm locking it in when we get to that.
Okay.
I'm going to make my call.
Big Chuck call of the week.
We at Adepticon, we learned I'm always wrong about it, so,
Oh, then I'm going to need to...
keep it up.
Then if you're going to be wrong about it, I need to clear what you're going to say, because there's a character I'm really hoping it is that I feel people are pretty confident in at least one of them being. That said, though, we're also going to talk about a little bit more about the What If event and some absolutely wild combos, some wombo combos.
Wombo combos.
If you wanted to, potentially go and play and try to draft those particular characters to bring some absolutely baller
Wamby Salamby
affiliation tactics cards along to play with them. First up, though.
Love tactics cards.
Let's get right into it, Dan.
Which one?
Hobby thoughts.
Hobby. Oh, yeah.
What'd you do this week? What'd you put together? Did you assemble? Did you dry fit? Did you paint? Did you dry brush? Did you oil wash?
No, I don't have any of those.
Oh.
I painted up. I got Nick Fury and his grunts for you to use, and then you promptly forgot to use the grunts, and then got Nick Fury filled like a noob.
So...
I did all that work for you, and you just let him die. and didn't even put the grunts on the table because you didn't read the thing.
So let's make a disclaimer right now, guys, everybody. You may not have known this. We've talked about it a couple times, both on stream and on this podcast. Grunts come into play with their parent character. Don't forget. At deployment.
Yes.
Don't forget that. If you do, Nick Fury will die in round 2, and you'll never be able to get your own grunts on the table.
Well, because he has to spend 3 power to get him on the table otherwise.
Correct.
And, like, he's got decent stamina. He's got okay attacks to build power, but, like, they would have been huge in that event. Having them, even just to hold your back gamma shelter so things could have moved up, like...
Well, they can't secure. They can
only, that's true. They can only pick things up.
Extracts, yeah. So they could have had some hammers.
Shield Agents with hammers.
Right.
Could you imagine if Chuck's and the Hand Ninjas got hammers?
I mean, they were already rolling bombs. But you know what? Let's get into that right now. Let's start with that. Normally, I like to end the show with that.
We already kind of jumped in anyway.
Yeah. So Chuck and I played a game this last Monday, and the Power Phase at twitch.tv/professional casual network. That is every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can catch us there live from Bearded Dragon Games, playing some Marvel Crisis Protocol. And I brought a shield list. Chuck brought a new Shadow War Criminal Syndicate list.
Yeah.
With Shadowlands Daredevil, Elektra.
I like that new Daredevil a lot.
MODOK, and Bullseye?
Yes. Because it took me a long time to figure out, I was like, who's his 2 points? Where? I think he was hiding behind a rock.
Yeah. And we played Gamma Shelters, and we played Hammers. I brought a shield list that had Nick Fury Jr.
No grunts, though.
Miss Marvel. It also had a 2-point Black Widow, as well as...
War Machine,
and Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. Another one.
It's the first time I brought Helios Laser Bombardment and didn't use it.
You didn't use it? I thought you used it like round 2.
No, that was the
you
other
used Nick
Helios
Fury's
Laser
thing.
Bombardment. Yeah, the Shield Bombo Blast. The Shield Banana Smoothie Twist.
The Shield Wombo combo from the Helicarrier.
It really is, yeah. And the super cool thing about that, and granted, I found this out kind of as I was playing the card, surprisingly cool. Being able to apply Incinerate on an AoE or bleed as an AoE, being able to choose the type of damage it does or type of attack it is.
I always find it so funny that we go over these cards on the show. We read them multiple times. We read them out loud even. We discuss them. And then you get to the game and you're like, oh, that's what it does.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you, like you as in collective you. Like, I'm always like, oh, that's what it does. That's cool.
You very targeted to me also is accurate as well. So,
Scorched Earth.
I will say the new Daredevil is insanely offensive. Some of his new tactics cards as well are awesome to see on the table, especially if you can get those hand ninjas within a certain range of him or the target. Chuck's hand ninjas themselves did work. Regularly rolling like 4 to 6 successes on attack rolls, which was choice. Nick Fury got wiped off the table pretty quick.
Yeah. You just didn't treat him right.
I didn't.
He's pretty tanky.
He
was
is.
it 4-3-4 for defenses?
4-3-4. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Elektra did her thing and was just like, I'm gonna stab you right here, then you're gonna die.
Yep, her Impale, and thankfully we did. I believe actually, Dan, it might have been you or someone else in chat let us know that when you activate the parent to a grunt, the grunt activates first.
Yeah, that wasn't me that time, but someone did.
Which was actually very good for Chuck. In that particular activation, he was trying to make sure that he could impale down with Elektra Nick Fury, who had just flipped to his injured side. So having the hand ninjas be able to get 2 attacks off first, both of which found purchase and got damage through, to be able to soften up Nick Fury Jr. was awesome.
Yeah.
And then being able to finish it with an impale. And then being able to move because he had, was it Bounty Hunter or Vendetta or something along those lines? He was able to use a tactics card to then get another medium movement and get another attack off on my Black Widow. It was solid. Shadow, what's the Black Widow thing called again? Shadow War? The Shadow War affiliation is stellar. As far as the tactics cards and stuff that it is able to use as long as you have Daredevil and Elektra on the table. Super maneuverable.
Like, what?
But
And I think that'll be a popular one for What If as well, because Criminal Syndicate got already had some great cards like Shadow Organization.
Yep.
And All According to Plan, and they got some real bangers added as well.
Yep.
With Shadowlands Daredevil, that pack has some really nasty cards in it.
And Shield has some great cards as well. A lot of them are very similar. They're like common tactics cards that people would normally take, kind of like a med pack and a reposition and things like that. But they're always like just slightly better.
Yeah, I would almost say weirdly better, but because they're affiliate specific.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense to me.
If there's someone that's going to have general use tactics that are just slightly better than everyone else's on the street, it's Shield.
Nick Fury.
They've drilled those things into people hard to make sure that they, in fact, work.
The commitment that AMG has with this game to fit the character and all these little things, like Nick Fury coming with 10 tactics cards. Because, of course, he has a plan for everything. It's Nick Fury
yep.
Jr.
But, yeah, it was super fun affiliation to play and a little bit of variation, too. I really like that Agent Widow's in there. The Iron Man and War Machine are in there too. Actually makes me really happy. I love seeing those two teamed up, kind of back to back, just blasting fools.
They are fun to play together, just for the visuals.
Yeah, well, and there's a little bit of synergy too with Iron Man being able to repulsor blast people into place to get off some really cool Metal Storm beam attacks with War Machine. For 6 points for the two of them, actually surprisingly lethal and really tanky.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
4 physical defense on both with invulnerability. Awesome.
And decent health for 3 threat.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Iron Man's push.
Yes.
I never rolled that wild to trigger it, but I like the idea of it.
Well, and granted, playing him in Shield here was a little bit different. It's also super cool to be able to include additional characters in the Shield affiliation with the...
Love that card. Initiative,
unaffiliated card, which is super fun as well.
Right. I couldn't remember what the affiliation ability was. I taking a look at the card now. I do like Nick Fury's affiliation ability as well. It's just kind of cool.
Well, the fact that you can get victory points off of it if you are down, that you're never really out of the fight because you can catch up just a little bit. And actually, those games where it's close, the Nick Fury affiliation ability works even better by being able to keep you right in it.
I like that a lot. I don't think I'll ever remember the other one. If you have equal number or more VPs in your opponent, when an enemy character damages an allied character with an attack, the allied character can spend 1 power. If it does after the attack is resolved, the allied character can advance short. Mm-hmm. I think that's one I would never remember. Once a game. And it would be not a critical moment.
I did not have the ability to use that power as I was crushing my opponent throughout the entirety of the stream.
And you lost Nick Fury in round 2.
Yeah, that too. So maybe that's a bigger part of it.
Maybe it was 3.
Maybe that was a bigger part of it. But,
Got to get my digs in where I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you don't need to lead where we're going, which is Victory Town. That said, make sure, if you haven't already, to give us a follow over there on the Twitch, twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network, where you can check us out
Victory
every
Town.
Monday. And listen, the flavor's choice at Victory Town.
Pretty sure I'll be playing this Monday.
I think you might be too. I'm not confident in it, but that's my expectation. What are you thinking about playing this Monday?
Probably if we want to go big, we can also go home. The favorite character at every threat level list.
Oh, we could do that.
With what would I have? Who's my two? Oh, Rocket, Lizard, Venom, Ghost Rider, and Magneto at 20 threat.
So,
which I actually really like for What If.
Yeah.
They're all Brotherhood.
Yeah. So I had for that Bullseye. I forget who was my 3. I also forget my 4. My 5, though, was Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
And my 6 was Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster.
All right.
I definitely don't remember your other ones. Let's see. Rob was asking something in the chat there. It says, if an allied character is damaged by an attack, you can pay 1 to move short. Yep.
All right. Let's get into some of this rampant speculation.
Oh yeah. Wild speculation's kind of our jam.
So AMG, the Atomic Mass Games themselves, posted a silhouetted picture this week
I love these things.
Oh my gosh, man.
I was hoping we get the revealed image today because it's usually pretty quick turnover.
Yeah.
So, crossing fingers for tomorrow.
If you are listening to the podcast version of this, which comes out on Tuesdays, we stream it on Thursdays. The podcast version comes out the following Tuesday. Know for a fact that anything that we said here, if the information has been revealed since we streamed this live, these were all jokes. Unless they were accurate.
Jokes.
Yeah.
If they're accurate, then we're the best.
Oh, yeah, then we're psychic. Like Moondragon.
Yeah. So our sweet image here has two silhouetted figures among a cosmic background, and then what is clearly Thanos' throne, giving us a little hint.
It could be, now to be fair.
Could be a boat.
No. Well, it could be. You know how much we've always wanted one of those. But that silhouette in the back might not be Thanos' throne.
These be Lockjaw's tuning fork.
So
super zoomed in. These could be really tiny models.
The helicopter! Let me get there!
So I just kept cutting you off.
These are Pym particle heroes that have been shrunk down to the microverse, and that's actually Black Bolt in the background looking at them through a cage, being like, oh, look at my little playthings. Because he can't talk loud because he's Black Bolt.
I feel like Black Bolt wouldn't do that, but I like how we both went the same way here with the tuning fork thing for Inhumans. But yeah, my immediate thought seeing this was Moondragon on the left. She's got a bald head. She's got a feminine figure. She's got energy stuff around her. She's a psychic. She's got what looks like a cape. I think that is 100% Moondragon, or it could be Iceman.
It's definitely
and those could be ice things around.
Yeah, definitely not Iceman. But I honestly was kind of throwing a Hail Mary, and maybe not even a Hail Mary, with the release of the full Thor Love and Thunder trailer this week. I thought the model on the left could have been maybe a Gor the God Butcher. I think around the neck you see kind of a cowl, which they've kind of made that be part of the aesthetic for the Gor the God Butcher.
Hold that like a hood down?
Yes.
I don't dislike that idea, except we haven't had releases coincide with MCU stuff at all.
Right, but 2022, honestly, this is the time for MCP releases alongside movie releases, and I think this will be it.
That would be cool.
Because the other character...
Except it's Moondragon.
...could kind of look like Jane Foster Thor.
Yeah, she's definitely got a hammer.
Yeah.
So that one threw me at first.
That's either a hammer or like a spiky 7-Eleven cup.
Oh, she just crushed that cup, showing off her strength with that big gulp, which is going everywhere. That one threw me at first. My initial thought, I looked at this, and I was like, Moondragon and, I don't know, maybe Adam Warlock with long hair. Yeah. He has a cape, and the character on the right definitely doesn't have a cape. But I was like, I don't really know. And then once people had other suggestions I saw online and looked up images, I was like, oh, okay, it's definitely that character. Which I know you're pumped for.
So yes.
But I'm not going to say the name.
I really appreciate that. So I'm really hoping, and I've messaged a lot of people very specifically about how much I will flip out if it is this particular character. If it is Black Swan, I am so hyped.
She looks awesome.
So hyped. The Infinity Saga, or the Secret Wars, the 2015 version of Secret Wars is one of my favorite storylines of all time. And very legitimately, one that I'm regularly comparing right along Avengers versus X-Men.
As your tops?
Yes.
What was he God Doom in that? Did he have a special name like that?
Kind of. So yeah, he ended up becoming like the God King of Battle World after that whole event happened and all of them smashed in together. He kind of like took bits and pieces of all of the worlds that were destroyed and made his own like little battle world.
It's so good. Yeah, that mini series. I remember when it was coming out. I love. I think it's Asad. I don't know how to say his name. Asad Ribic.
Yes.
The artist for that was one of my favorites. His stuff is top notch. So I grabbed those issues as it came out, and the story is really cool with the Thor Corps.
Yes.
His police force.
It's just a bunch of variant Thors
from all different universes, and
the wall of the city is the thing. It's Ben Grimm who thinks he needs to protect everybody. So he's like super complacent with it.
I loved the throwback to the original Secret Wars with the inclusion of Molecule Man, who like
was huge,
disappeared from comics forever, and I love that inclusion. And then like Doom is with Sue Storm, like he's with Invisible Woman. They're a couple, and like he like Doom got everything he wanted, and he is literally a god. And I love how he wears all white to be like, 'cause he thinks he's the good guy and everything.
Yes.
Super cool story. But now I'm trying to find the stuff that leads up to it that makes you love Black Swan and the Black Order so much, because I never heard of those characters until Infinity War.
I had never particularly cared, and honestly, I had never really heard of Corvus Glaive or Proxima or Black Dwarf or Ebony Maw before this. But in that particular story, they had this incredible thing where effectively the Illuminati made like a deal with Thanos and the Black Order, and they're like, yeah, these worlds are colliding into each other at all these incursion points. We need someone to just go to the other planets and just murderize them. Do you think you can do that, Thanos? And Thanos is like, yeah, but give me Wakanda. And they're like, okay.
Seems worth it.
So they do. Black Panther gets a little mad about that and leaves the Illuminati. But
just a little mad.
They do some just absolutely incredible stuff here. I believe they killed the Eternals, which the Black Swans were like super important in. So the Black Swans kind of as a whole are kind of like an intergalactic, like obviously an Avengers level threat version of the Black Widows. They're like this entire group of people that are just metal.
So Black Swan is a Black Swan, like Natasha is Black Widow is a Black Widow.
Correct. But she ended up becoming, I believe, like the last one. Most of them died, I think, while killing the Eternals.
Okay.
So they were Doctor Doom's like disciples at one point. They are just baller. So
Black Swan's a favorite for the character on the right, mostly because of those like tendrily things coming like off of her shoulders behind her. She doesn't have a cape, pretty clear. And all the images, I just looked up some pictures of her and I was like, oh, that's definitely her. She's got the hair. So a lot of people thought the character might have a cowl, but I think it's just her long hair. And then a lot of things show her shooting lightning from her hands.
Yes.
Which looks like we have the energy signature for that. More or less. So I think 100% Black Swan and Moondragon. Mm-hmm. If it's not them, I'll be very surprised. And I'll be elated if either of them are Iceman.
So here's the thing about the one on the left. The one that a lot of people feel might be Moondragon, potentially Gor the God Butcher. I'm going to annoy one very specific person, but MCP has been calling for something very specific for a very long time. There is something that has been woefully needed in Marvel Crisis Protocol that has been just everyone wants it, everyone needs it except for one person, and that is another Cassandra Nova.
A second Cassandra, like when she's on the Marauders right now in X-Men.
So I think very realistically we've locked in Black Swan. That's caught in. But that one on the left, a lot of people think Moon Knight. Or I'm sorry, Moondragon. But I'm calling for a variant Cassandra Nova. Shout out to Mitch. I think we're pretty much I'm locked in on that too.
I will say
variant Cassandra Nova.
If it is Moondragon, I'm gonna be really upset if she's not a bearer of the Mind Gem. She probably won't be because Drax can't take the Power Gem, even though he wore that on his forehead for years in the Infinity Watch comic in the 90s. Moondragon had the Mind Gem all the time to amplify her psychic powers. Mm-hmm. If she can't take the Mind Gem, I'm going to lose my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Because just so much of this stuff is based off the comics, and then like specifically the gems don't seem to be. But it's not totally based off the movies either.
No.
Because why can Corvus and Ebony Maw take stuff? They never had them in the movies. I don't know enough about them in the comics to know. So like I hope it's been what 2 years since we had a gem bearer release. Mm-hmm. So I'd really like to see her be a gem bearer of at least Mind.
So I do know that I've already made some outlandish statements. There's something There's something we talked about a while ago, when I believe they came out with some of the promo cards for one of the organized play kits. The Infinity League.
Infinity War League?
Yes. I think one of these characters in this particular set might herald something we talked about way back when, and could have been something that we called super early.
Oh? I definitely don't remember.
It could be the Infinity Watch.
I would love to see that. there's been I would love to see Adam Warlock as the affiliation leader there. I think Adam Warlock is super cool.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Guardians 3, spoiler alert.
Yep.
Again, not that MCP really ever follows the MCU, but maybe there will, like you said, maybe they'll start to a little bit.
Well, the thing is, too, is that model on the left, granted, another super wild card, maybe is Emma Frost.
I did see some people suggesting it could be Emma and somebody else.
But here's
I
the
don't
thing.
think so.
We already have a lot of members, in fact, the majority of them out of Doctor Strange's and Loki's version of the Infinity Watch. So in Doctor Strange's version, we have Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and Star-Lord. We're only missing Adam Warlock and Turk Barrett. Mr. Fear.
I love Turk Barrett. I love his inclusion in the Netflix shows.
Yeah,
he pops up all the time.
Yes,
I love him.
He's a huge Hell's Kitchen guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm super glad that they threw him in there.
I definitely want to see Adam Warlock in this game, though.
And then
5 or 6 threat, maybe our first 7 threat.
Right?
Oh, and he could have some kind of Magus. I always forget which it is, because him and Warlock from New Mutants, the Phalanx guy, he has an altered, like his dad or whatever is Magus or Magnus, and I always get them mixed up with who's which.
Oh, super fair.
And they both have Warlock in their name. It's so weird. Which is his alternate Magus? I think it is.
Could be.
The purple version of him, basically. Yeah. I would love to see Adam Warlock. He could have a ridiculously cool ultimate encounter where he's not Adam Warlock, but Magus. Like, yes.
So I think the cool thing, now if we're talking about Black Swan, that's another potential Black Order leader they could pull in. Somewhat weak as far as comics and stuff go, but possible.
Okay. Not impossible.
I think that she would be a 3 or a 4, and if they made a 3-threat affiliation leader for Black Order, that would really open them up.
That would be amazing.
Right?
So you've read a lot of stuff with these characters in it, right? Mm-hmm. What does Black Swan do? Like, what are her powers besides shooting lightning that I saw in some pictures?
That's a great question, because in most of the comics I read, she was like in a prison in Wakanda.
Oh.
But she has optic blasts, superhuman strength. She's got some
telepathy,
flight, force fields, and she's like insanely smart.
So we're thinking energy attacks, mystic attacks, throw. Mm-hmm. Do you think she'd be invulnerable?
No. I don't.
Okay, she's not like super durable.
No, because she was usually kind of in the back getting some stuff done, and she was also like usually playing some other type of game as well.
Okay.
So like stuff was going on, and she was secretly working with some other people. She was working kind of a little bit with the Illuminati, and a little bit with the Heroes, and a little bit with the Black Order.
Do you think she could fit into other affiliations then? Like definitely Black Order, obviously.
Yeah. So that's
Do you think she could be like Avengers or something?
I don't know about Avengers. I was almost thinking Guardians. Or Asgard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
She worked a little bit with Hela.
Okay, cool.
Might be a stretch, but I not as much of a stretch as I think Angela was.
Right.
So I think
even Hela being part of Asgard is kind of strange, because she doesn't team up with Thor, which is something I love about this game. That would be cool. I mean, Black Order could use any kind of crossover.
For real.
Having 5 characters that are only in their affiliation is, I know they're still really popular at events, but that it's still super limiting for them. I think Moondragon, definitely Guardians.
Yeah.
I think she fits it. Like, since we don't have like Infinity Watch, I think Guardians makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. I don't know enough if she would also be Black Order or not. Like,
she had to deal with Thanos and Korvac. So, like, Moondragon worked with both in the past.
Okay, so she could be Black Order well?
Absolutely. So that's why I'm heavily thinking that we might see some new Black Order stuff here, because both of them could really kind of fit in that
Very cool. I mean, I would love to see both of them in Black Order just to give them more options. To have 7 characters, and then they can be like, "Suck it, Wakanda. You have the least now."
Yeah, for real. Well, and that would just be rad as hell, because that's one of the few affiliations where people really thought like, well, they're not going to be adding any more to Black Order. That's done. You know what I mean? Consider that set. So that's flipped. That's chucked. That's double chucked, because there's not a whole lot of things you could add to Black Order. These characters are in fact 2 that you could in fact add to Black Order.
Well, it still blows my mind that Gamora and Nebula aren't part of Black Order.
Yeah.
Especially Nebula. Yeah. They have a card that's the Daughters of Thanos. Why can't they be on his team? It drives me crazy. So please, with this release, AMG, because we know that you listen to this show, that's a perfect opportunity to revamp that affiliation list and add Moondragon. We got Moondragon and Black Swan confirmed. And then add Nebula and Gamora. You have 9 characters now. That's a totally, I think that's more than S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate.
Yep.
Not that Black Order isn't a legitimate affiliation now, but you have options now.
I mean,
and a 2 threat that they need real bad.
Black Order was in the final round of the Contest of Champions. I mean, they are nothing but legitimate.
Well, yeah. Oh, I mean, they can be disgusting in the right hands because they can just pump out so much damage even with few characters. But giving them more options is just only good for the game, I think.
So, and here's another. Listen, this is the wild speculation episode, right? So, another affiliation we have coming out that I am calling right now, Illuminati.
Yes.
We have Black Bolt, we have
Black Panther,
we have Iron Man, we have Doctor Strange.
We have everybody but Namor and Professor X.
And
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
All right, so we're missing a few, but still.
I think you could, because Black Swan worked a little bit with them as well. You could throw Black Swan in that particular group.
Okay.
You could throw,
I like that.
A new Iron Man in there. You know how much we've always wanted one of those.
People really do want another like regular Iron Man.
Yeah, we need an Iron Legion. You know what I mean? And that's the incredible thing about having a Marvel licensed minis game like this, especially with a company like Atomic Mass Games, where you know they're going to be around for the long haul, and we can in fact get a lot of the super cool stuff. An Iron Legion, multiple more Iron Men would be
super cool. I actually really like that idea.
Yeah. Iron Man with 1 health that has the Infinity Gauntlet, and he dies on round 2.
Too soon.
But you can make a bunch of wishes first.
I often lament not having Iceman in the game yet, and we joke about like, oh, we're gonna get this character before Iceman. I'd actually be pretty okay with multiple Iron Men before Iceman because there's so many things to draw from Iron Man, even if you're just referring back to MCU stuff. Yeah. Which they do draw from for, especially looks like Captain. I almost said Captain Mordo. Baron Mordo and Ancient One are 100% MCU look. Yeah. Not the comics at all. Yep. Which I'm fine with. I like those designs better anyway. But like just thinking of the different even Iron Man 3, his, the house party. Yeah. All those, the cool samurai looking Iron Man there. Like there's so many awesome looking stuff.
How long do you think it'll be before we get the 1602 affiliation?
Oh, it took me a second to realize what you were saying there. I would really like that. Right? I love the 1602
Peter Parker with no powers is just a 2-threat dude. Doctor Strange's deputy. Doctor Strange was like the
like the Sherlock Holmes. For him. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I love the scene where
he almost gets bit by a spider 17 times throughout the first 10
thinking he's gonna get powers. Just Quicksilver delivering messages for Magneto. Yeah. And then someone's like, how did you get here so fast? And he's like, I just ran really fast. And like, oh, you're so funny. And then he's like running back because mutants still have powers in that one. Oh, man, 1602 is solid. If you haven't read that yet, Andy Kubert. Neil Gaiman is the writer. Yep. Which means it's going to be great.
Ravensguard, hi. Just joining us in chat. Good to see you. Ravensguard, I have a question for you and everyone here listening to the podcast or live. Listen, guys, we are doing a What If event at Bearded Dragon Games May 28th. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's a Saturday. Drive up here to 19 Ford Ave, Suite C, Oneonta, New York, 13820. Sign up on Longshanks. The link is down in the description. Come play with us. Come play with our models. You'll be using probably my models. Just don't break them, please.
just be gentle.
But that'll be super cool. All the rules and stuff is up on the Facebook, facebook.com/professionalcasual.
Professional casual.
So, out of all the characters that we talked about, most of which were in black order, and I think we started to talk about this, but then got wildly distracted.
Us distracted when it's just the two of us? You crazy.
What other affiliations do we think that some of these characters could be on? I think Black Swan could easily fit in both Guardians or Cabal. And I think that's a really neat piece for both of them.
I like that idea a lot.
Moondragon, I think you said Defenders, right?
No, Guardians.
Guardians.
Because she's Drax's daughter, so it makes sense that she'd be on the same affiliation as Drax.
Oh,
like, I don't know if she's ever been a Guardian. Pretty sure she has been, now that I think about it for half a second.
Yeah.
So I think that is a natural fit for her.
What about the new variant Cassandra Nova?
Well, X-Men, because she's on the Marauders.
Yep. Yeah. Who else is on the Marauders currently?
Currently, Kate Pride is the leader still. They just mixed it up after the Inferno event.
Yeah.
There was a big shakeup in the X-Men line. Bishop is still there. I think her name is Tempo. A character I don't really know. She wears all gold. Mm-hmm. She's got time powers. I think Pyro's still on the team. Forge, I believe, joined.
Tempo was on the team that Emma Frost, Magneto, and Cyclops gathered with gold balls initially when they were first going around trying to find new mutants as they were first blipping up. Tempo was one of those ones.
Oh,
She had
I don't
no
think
control
it's
of her
Tempo
powers
then.
at the time. No, it was very, like, at that point, very small time distortion. And I believe it's grown since then, but that sounds exactly on point.
Yeah. I think there might be a different name that I'm thinking of then.
Gotcha.
Because Tempo is one of the 5.
Yeah, that makes sense. So is Gold Ball.
She's not. That's not the same person on Marauders right now.
Oh.
The person, she wears like all gold and she looks like there's like a gear on her head.
Oh yeah, that's not this person.
Maybe it's Tempest. I can't remember. I've never heard of her before.
Does she shoot ice and? Oh no, she has time powers.
I think she has time powers. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think there might be somebody else, but Iceman's not on the team anymore, so I don't read that book now.
Your comic,
100%.
Your comic reading is very much like Chuck, and whether he listens to podcasts or not. Only if Iceman's in, or only if Chuck is on it.
I mean, not only, but the only reason I was reading Marauders was because Iceman was on the team, and he was probably in a quarter of the issues for 3 panels an issue. Really frustrating. But the end of the first volume of Marauders, he like left the team because he was like, I want to go test myself. I was part of the terraforming of Mars into Araco for the mutants' own planet. He's like, I don't give myself enough credit. I'm way better than I think I am. And then he beat up Fin Fang Foom by himself. And then he was fighting frost trolls. One of my favorite moments with him, where he's just beating the snot out of frost trolls as this giant version of Iceman. And he goes, send me the ones that fight Thor. And one of them goes, we are the ones that fight Thor. Please stop hitting us. So I really hope he gets like a mini series to delve into that, where he's like trying to push himself and figure out like, he's an Omega level mutant, but he's never cared about that. He's never really pushed his powers.
Right.
Like other people have, like Emma Frost did when she took over his body one time. And she's like, wow, you are terrifyingly powerful. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. So I'd really like to see that, but I haven't seen any solicits about it, anything with that. Like, what is Iceman doing during this time? Like, he's literally one of the most powerful beings on the planet. And he's finally realizing that. I want to see that story.
So, and at the same level of fan appreciation as Iceman, we're going to move over to Pip the Troll.
I love Pip the Troll.
Who is also on Adam Warlock's Infinity Watch.
Yes.
And we've seen him in the extra credit scene from Eternals.
Oh, yeah, he was with Starbeak or whatever his name is.
Star Fox.
Oh, I was so close.
Pip the Troll almost acting like his Slippy.
Yes, I knew it was Star something.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Star
Beak
Fox
came
is
from.
Thanos' brother, bro.
Right. The family resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah, you can you can tell. But that version of the Infinity Watch also had Thanos, which we already have, and Gamora and Drax. We get a little Adam Warlock. We're pretty much locked in on this Moon Dragon. then we're only mixing Pip the Troll
and Maxim,
that
nobody knows about.
Well,
he was a very short-lived character.
I love how his membership in the Wikipedia article too just says, he had a time gem.
Second guardian of the time gem. Everybody else has multiple sentences.
There's really not a lot there at all.
Wait, because is he dead or something? He not?
Adam Warlock murked him.
That makes sense. Yeah, he looks pretty lame anyway. But I would love an Infinity Watch affiliation. We can see it could be a pretty large affiliation with just a few additions to the game that would all be great. Adam Warlock would be so cool. He's got so many weird powers. I think they could do really cool stuff with him in the rule set and give us our first 7th threat. Just because. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, we do have a 7th threat already, and it's Thanos with 1 gem.
No, that's 6+1. We've established that very well on this show.
But yeah, so now let's switch over to something completely different, which is wild speculation about an event that we're running. The what if event.
More different wild speculation.
More different speculation. So, once again, we're running the What If event from Adepticon 2022 at Bearded Dragon Games in upstate New York, 19 Ford Ave, Suite C, Oneonta, New York, 13820. May 28th, Memorial Day weekend. Sign up on Longshanks. Link is in the description. But we saw some super cool things at Adepticon and people were running.
Yeah.
We saw some awesome Brotherhood stuff. We saw an incredibly interesting Wakanda list. Just to get some of the main bangers out of the way, the ones that are like absolutely like, yes. If you get Blade, you can Siege of Darkness on any character. Just to run down this very quickly. Mm-hmm. In the What If event, it is a snake draft. We will have every character that is currently released on the roster.
Yeah,
that includes,
we got everybody.
The Shadowlands Daredevil stuff and Elektra. It includes
Nick Fury.
All of the Midnight Suns and Nick Fury. It'll all be there.
Did we have a Dormammu painted between the three of us?
Yeah.
You have a Dormammu painted?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've played against it.
No, I haven't.
You didn't play in either of the Dormammu organized play things?
Yeah, but he couldn't be used in that.
Oh, gotcha.
Specifically.
Never mind.
Oh, that's right, but we did the Ultimate Encounter. I forgot.
Yes.
Okay, so we have Dormammu.
I have a Dormammu, so I'm super stoked. And I really like Dormammu, just kind of in general. But, So yeah, that'll all be there. And so there's a few of these things that weren't available at Adepticon just because they had either just been released or are releasing now. So we'll get to see kind of an update to that particular format. So there will be a draft. It'll be up to 12 players. You'll go snake draft rules, fantasy football style, picking a character down the line. Everyone picks one. When you get to player 8, that person picks twice, and then you go reverse down the line.
Player 12.
Player 12, yes, sorry. Back and forth. The person at the start and the end, outside of the first pick, being able to pick 2 before the turn order reverses. Mm. The affiliation leaders that you choose. After the draft, you can choose who will be your affiliation leader. Regardless of who is on your roster, everyone counts as being part of that affiliation leader's affiliation.
So cool.
So you can have Hulk counting as a member of the Midnight Suns, being able to Siege of Darkness.
Just a Hulk bumping in the night anyway.
Is awesome. Dormammu bump in the night.
Oh, no.
With Siege of Darkness.
No.
Ka-chow. You bring your own tactics cards, you bring your own crisis cards, and movement tools and dice and all that good stuff. But we will supply the models. That said, the huge part of this is that there are no affiliation roster rules outside of having the leader on your squad. Mm. Who do you bring? Who's baller? And what are the super unique circumstances that you've never been able to play before outside of a format like this that you are super excited potentially to see? To get the big ones out of the way first, we saw at Adepticon someone run a Wakanda list that had Rocket and Groot so they could Wakanda Forever and Deadly Duo.
Yeah, so many shots.
Awesome. Same thing with Siege of Darkness. Things that give people extra attacks. Wakanda Forever with Thanos or, I mean, even Lizard or Kraven or any of these things would be awesome. And you can do that. What are the cool things that don't revolve specifically around Wakanda Forever or Siege of Darkness that you have?
I'm going to bring up one that Taylor was just suggesting in the group chat earlier today. He loves the idea of Green Goblin, because he loves Spider-Foes, he loves Green Goblin, in A-Force to Special Delivery She-Hulk.
Yes.
And then you improve that idea by saying, oh, Green Goblin has hit and run.
Yep.
So he can attack, inflict incinerate, move, bring She-Hulk with him.
Drop her off.
Then she punches, and then he attacks again.
Yes.
Whatever might be left.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
It is
So gross.
so cool. So here's one I thought of. This is a super underutilized card as far as I'm aware. Pterogenesis.
Okay.
So what this card does is any Inhumans character can use it. This is kind of like the counters or the ripostes or traps, where you roll 4 dice, and it is the 50% chance one. It's on crits, wilds, and hits. You deal the damage. If it dazes or KOs a character, you get 2 victory points.
Wow. The only thing is you have to do it against an enemy character holding a civilian token.
It is. So it is a little niche in that it has to be a civilian token. But the fact that
It's like
it is
half
now
the
just
extracts, though.
everyone on your potential team and humans doesn't necessarily suffer, but is one of those affiliations that has actually an insanely useful affiliation ability. So if you do draft that Black Bolt, which I don't think is going to be one of the first few picks, I think you can be pretty safe in being able to pull Black Bolt if you really wanted to. To be able to have something like that in Attilian Rising, being able to give any injured member on your team a power for every injured member that's on your team. I'm sorry, not every injured member, but everyone on your squad, power equal to the amount of injured characters, especially that round 3, that round 4, when stuff looks dire, being able to just, everyone's full.
Yeah, having this one in Inhuman, like, it is an Inhuman card, obviously, but having to be able to power up whoever you want to get this card off, because it does cost 3 power. It's not cheap, but, I mean, you can do that in a couple, you can move power around all the time. In just a couple activations, somebody can have 3 power. You're good to go.
Yep.
So this is one I 100% completely forgotten this card existed. That's really cool. 2 VPs?
2 victory points.
So you get somebody down to 1 or 2, pop this card off, take them out, score 2 VPs, win the game, Bob's.
I mean, very specifically for you, Dan. If you were facing me, that'd be a guaranteed, banger. You always get my characters to just 1 left.
That's true, but those kind of cards, I never roll any successes. Like well-laid plans, useless. Worst card. Hate it. I can roll it against 4 characters and do 1 damage across, and it's on the person that's not holding an objective. They're on an objective.
Yep.
No, I love that idea. I'd completely forgotten about that one. That is dope.
Throwlash in the chat bringing up a great point, too, is in this particular type of format. Guess what? Doomed Prophecies on everyone again as long as you get
baby.
Thor. So, well, and very specifically with Asgard, with Brotherhood, with Black Order, being able to get that Thanos early. And you also get 1 gem, I believe, and you can put it on anyone, and it's fine. Everyone gets 1 gem.
They're not part of the draft.
Correct. Being able to Asteroid M, to be mothershipping, and rainbow bridging.
Yeah,
anyone that you
tons
want.
of movement.
Awesome.
I really like the idea of She-Hulk in Web Warriors as well.
Yeah.
All webbed up, or even Amazing Spider-Man, just putting slow everywhere, and then She-Hulk just staggering people left and right.
I didn't think about that. Loki would be great there, too, with Ice Beam slowing everybody.
Ice Beam! I have to. It's a reflex.
Even Loki with the Mind Gem. You're not going to have any other gem bearers on a Hell's Kitchen / spider people list.
True. There's so many crazy combinations. I love this format.
Yes.
It was Hank and Tisdale created this for Adepticon, right?
I think so, and probably Tim Simpson as well.
I think Tim was
always
involved,
out, Mr. Simpson.
So I just think it really opens things up for wacky stuff. Like, if you're going in this with a competitive mindset, please throw that out the window, because the usual tricks aren't going to work because things are just wild.
Well, and you have no idea what you're going to be up against either.
No.
One of the things that we talked about when Brent and Franz was on here as well was potentially mix and matching this with a team tournament where you do maybe a couple different pods of what if drafts, and then you're teamed up with a random other member.
Oh my God, yes. What if team ups?
So I think
everybody has to have Spider-Man, though, because it's Spider-Man team up.
It could be a Deadpool team up.
Everybody has to have Spider-Man or Deadpool.
But I think that would be so fun.
Yeah.
Just wild card every round. Just absolute wackiness. The other super cool thing about this particular event that we're running is we have a bunch of the promo cards from Adepticon.
Yeah.
We'll be giving those away as prizes.
Super rare.
So,
Really
listen, if you can
cool
be there,
stuff.
sign up.
Was that May
28th.
May 28th.
The old 2-8. That's how old I am.
Liar. I am lying. Stars and Stripes.
Final
I
Justice.
think there was something else about the event I was gonna
Shield Slash.
talk about. No, I can't remember. What's Cable's? Plasma beam? Plasma gun or something?
His builder?
No, in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, what was his attack you can spam and he says something
Oh, his
fun?
plasma. No, he doesn't say anything.
Oh, he just shows, he just
that
busts out a giant gun.
Yeah, it was the plasma thing.
Brow.
Or he would like turn around and backstroke with pistol launches. Sorry, microphone.
Oh, I want to talk about Criminal Syndicate for What If, taking Kingpin
Yeah.
or Shadowlands Daredevil.
Being able
and
to
having
yeah,
Shadow
sorry, go for it.
Organization or my new favorite, No Mercy. When an allied character would daze an enemy character, the allied character may play this card and just gain 3 power on anybody.
Yep.
So
Yep.
those that are typically power starved, what are some examples of power starved? Elektra.
Yep.
I mean, she's already part of Criminal Syndicate, so it's not as good of an example. But who's another typically seen as power starved character that could really benefit from just boom 3 power?
Enchantress.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Oh, Enchantress is a good one. I feel like Jean, she gains an extra power
Yeah.
in the power phase, but is still often kind of power starved.
Yeah, Jean or Cassandra Nova.
Wolverine would really
Yep.
benefit from that to be able to do his cool stuff. Oh, could you imagine that on X-23?
Yeah.
Like her stuff is already relatively cheap. I like this with a lot of characters. Just gaining you're going to be dazing characters at some point in the game. Just boom, 3 power for attacks. This card's so good.
Well, and something I'm surprised we didn't see a little bit more of, granted only one person could have potentially have done it, and they may have, is doing X-Men. X-Men Gold with Storm, being able to provide cover and having access to all those great tactics cards like First Class.
First Class is
being
so
able
good.
to wipe status effects from everyone on the team and get them power if they do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good X-Men tactics cards, so being able to put that on a whole bunch of other characters, especially power-starved characters, would be a choice.
I want to see Juggernaut in Criminal Syndicate for Cruel Tutelage, where he pays 1 power. The next attack made by this character this turn adds 3 dice to the attack roll. Let's say he's already moved as well.
With my
so he's
Caesar
adding
formula,
6.
so he's adding beams with this too.
And then if the attack roll contains 1 or more skulls, he gets staggered. But he can just get rid of that.
Yeah.
The superpower.
Oh, you know what?
That's gross. Oh, I want to do that now. That's so disgusting.
This.
He moves, so he gets +6 dice with this card. Well, his builder is like 11 dice now?
Yeah.
His builder's 5, right?
Yep. 5 plus what? 2 for the movement plus 3 for that.
Is it? I thought it was 3 for the movement.
Maybe it is
2
3
power
for
for the movement, 3 dice.
Yes. And then throwing Smash there too to get some size 3 terrain.
Why
added to your
not?
Physical attacks. Why not? You're gonna break it.
Yeah, his builder's strength 5. Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. Dude, I love like Vision on Cabal. Red Skull Cabal.
You shut your mouth.
Yeah.
With his beam.
Yeah,
just
gains
getting
1
so much
automatically.
power.
And
He doesn't
having
need the
stab,
power
and
anyway.
getting 2
'cause
automatically.
His throw's so cheap, he doesn't need the power.
That's super true. So I think it'd be finding tactics cards and stuff that you can use with Vision, because he's just going to be full on power after a single attack every single time.
Oh, he's maxed out again. What's he gonna do?
Shucks.
What does he have to spend power on? His throw?
And phase shift.
Rapid phase, which only works when he's attacked anyway.
And synthesis.
And then his builder, his spender is really good. The character doesn't add crit results to the defense roll. And doesn't roll additional dice. Yeah, that's one that's just... It's only strength 7 for a 4-threat spender, but it's really more than that with not adding crits, and crits don't count. That's so gross.
Yep.
So yeah, maxing... Yeah, for him to be able to like... Energy beam, calculate trajectory, and synthesoid Avenger.
Yeah.
Like every round practically in Cabal. Why don't we do that more often?
Right?
We don't even need What If for that.
No.
It's just gross.
And then as far as other tactics cards, there's so much cool stuff out there, and stuff gets added all the time. That's why I'm just absolutely stoked for an event like this, because it is ever changing. As new stuff comes out, it really changes the dynamic. It changes the combinations that you can have with all of the other 100+ models in this game. It's just
there's a lot of choice. Oh, I really like who was it? MODOK in Avengers for Avengers Assembled. Yeah. Because he really suffers from being slow.
Yes, he does.
So being able to get an extra movement. And he generates power pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. I think all the stuff with X-Force, too, being able to draft that cable and being able to use, like, cat and mouse and
pretty
a lot
sneaky
of the stuff
sis.
in X-Force, pretty sneaky sis.
I love that card.
Dirty work.
That's a good one.
A lot of cool stuff you could do with that.
Yeah, let's move MODOK up in X-Force with cat and mouse. I'm already in range. This short move on him is... Ugh.
Well, in Guardians, also, Star-Lord, super cheap leader.
What's the Lovable Misfits?
Lovable Misfits.
Is that the one you roll and you get a different thing for every character?
Mm-hmm. Everyone counting as
so good, yeah.
Well, and granted, we did see in one of the final rounds of one of the tournaments, Omnis Protocol, and one of the gentlemen, Nate Horn from... I'm drawing a huge blank here. Alfredo's Taco Truck.
Oh, yeah.
Had a game that was Guardians versus X-Men, and he used Lovable Misfits, and it backfired hard. I think he rolled 2 out of 4 or 5. I stunned him.
He stunned him. Own characters more than he did damage with that.
Yep.
Or anything else. Also, Crew the Milano is a disgust. I mean, it's the only 2 Guardian-specific cards, and they're both fantastic. Yep. Crew the Milano. I remember I used that once against you, and it basically won me the game, where they only have to
wiped
pay
out a whole bunch of staggers. Like, I was like, I stagger you. I'm going to Hail the King here and Black Cat over here. And you were like, Crew the Milano. I was like, I forgot that card existed.
Again, because it gets rid of all status conditions, and they can't get any more status conditions the whole round. And no matter what, it'll affect your entire affiliation. Star-Lord is like a sleeper leader with this card. It's so good. Like, busted good.
Yeah.
But it's okay because it's an affiliation-specific card.
Well, then
it'll be busted in What If we see it, but
Nick Fury being on the table now, or Shadowlands Daredevil being able to use the new affiliation abilities. There's a bunch of new interactions there that we literally haven't been able to see before because we haven't seen this event run with them.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe we'll have Moondragon and Black Swan by then, or our second Cassandra Nova could be out and painted and on the field for the What If event by that point too. You never know.
I mean, we've had this real dearth of any information about what's coming next, to the point where people in the Facebook groups were like, is this game dead? I'm like, it's been like a month and a half since we had something. Calm down.
Yeah.
No. The Quinjet hasn't even come out yet. We know there are things coming. Just calm down. Yep. And with the part, I believe on streams, Dallas and or Schick have said that they are doing this on purpose so their releases are much closer to the time after they give the reveal. So we don't have this time where they announce this, oh, sorry, there was a delay, these aren't coming out for a while now, where they're much closer to release time. So it's like, we got these pictures, they might be the May release.
Right.
Very realistically.
Yep.
Which would certainly be in time for the event, because releases are almost always the second Friday of the month in the U.S. at least.
Yep.
So... yeah, we could have Moondragon and Black Swan, if that's who they are, for the tournament.
Cassandra Nova and Black Swan.
For the What If event.
Correct. And honestly, I kind of prefer that a little bit better. Give the new model some time to breathe. You know what I mean? Especially with new affiliation leaders and stuff like that, where we have 2 new affiliation leaders, a brand new affiliation as a whole.
Big changes there.
Yeah, let's
shake up the meta.
Let them have their time to shine.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick. Nick is going to be at What If.
He has registered on Longshanks, yeah.
He has registered on Longshanks.
Whoop, whoop. But yeah, I would love to have these for the event. That would be crazy awesome if they're going like that. Like, we're going to reveal it, they're coming out the next month. I love that idea. I don't mind knowing about things a little further down the line. Like, I'm sure Mini Stravaganza will hear about things coming out in the next, few months. I would imagine, but I'm really glad we got something before Mini Stravaganza, because a lot of people online have been saying, oh, just there's Mini Stravaganzas coming up in June. They're probably just holding off announcements until then. I was like, I hope it's not another 2 months before we hear anything.
I don't think it will be. I think we'll get stuff in between now and then. I think we'll get another organized play kit or something probably too.
Well, I believe there's a Sentinels one announced.
Yeah.
Or like quietly announced that we've seen on like order forms and things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get that relatively soon, which sounds awesome. I love organized play kits. I love ultimate encounters. Any way to play the game differently is 100% what I want to see for this game, because the core of it can be used for all kinds. It doesn't have to be like a dogfight every time.
Right. Here's one I'd really like to see.
I saw you bring it up on the screen for a second. I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's the Ironbound books of Shumago Wrath. So
Right.
we actually probably should figure this out exactly how the convocation would work in this particular event, because there's not a singular affiliation leader. But
I mean, I think it will work as normal if you have somebody on convocation and you have that card in your roster, because you're still going to bring a roster of tactics cards.
Yep. Yeah, so I that works for me personally.
Well, I guess you build a roster of tactics cards. How did it work at Adepticon? You had did you have all your tactics cards and you just built a squad? You built your 5 cards based on who you picked?
No, you built a roster based off of what you had there.
But
So
you couldn't change up your squad from game to game. Like once you set your squad from the roster that you drafted.
So squad is what you play in a game.
Yes.
Roster is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, so once your roster's set with your 10 tactics cards, then it's set. Yes.
But once you choose a squad for a game, they had to play that same squad throughout the whole thing.
No.
Didn't they? Oh, no, just once you picked your leader, you had to have the same leader throughout.
Correct.
Okay.
So
I got it now. I got it.
So
I only talked about that event for a whole day.
And you know what? We'll call it right here, because the convocation wasn't in play for the What If event and Adepticon, and we'll call it right here. It's official. This is going to be canon. Get you ready for your big Chuck cannon of the week. I want to hear the cannon.
Boom.
If you have any affiliation, if you have any convocation member and you do in fact choose to go convocation, you do have to have that character as your leader for the entire event. But it could be anyone. It could even be a boat, as long as they're on the convocation affiliation list.
Super cool. That's rather generous of you.
I think so. Yeah, I think, yeah. So Nick Gardner said it right there. Wouldn't you just need a single convocation character? Yeah. So listen, you snap that Dr. Voodoo. Listen, you got an affiliation leader, my friend.
You can take magic.
I could take magic. Oh, man. I might actually want to play in this now. I mean, I do really want to play in this, but...
You could play and commentate at the same time, right?
Play
you
and
used to do that in gym in middle school.
NTL. That's true.
Hate to see it, Chuck.
But Ironbound Books says Shumago Wrath on a convocation affiliation with characters maybe like Juggernaut, maybe like Cable, maybe like Magneto. Being able to use their 6 Mystic defense as physical for the entire round, and if someone gets yoinked just off the table, guess what? That bad boy's back. You're bringing her back.
So that card is
awesome.
Such a pain, and only 2 power. And it's an allied character. It's not even like that character. It's your whole dumb squad.
It's the whole squad. And only one person is spending for it.
And it comes back.
Yep. Yes, sir. Oh, it's great. It's great.
It's one of those cards that I hate. I love to hate when it's used against me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So Nick Gardner asks, what are the gentleman agreements between pairs of characters? Can I be the guy who sees you pick Rocket and I take Groot? Yeah, you could. If you want to spite draft a Groot after someone picks Rocket, listen, good on you. You can do it. In the What If event at Adepticon, we did see Corvus and Proxima get picked together. We also saw Rocket and Groot get picked together. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone drafted Crossbones or Sin.
No,
but
neither.
No one was spite drafting them anyway. But yeah, you can.
No one's gonna draft Sin.
You never know.
I mean, that would be a spite draft because she's not good.
No. Right. I'm gonna spite draft Viper.
I'd say, during the game's obviously gentleman's agreement to to play in the typical MCP fashion where we're generous with, just a friendly atmosphere. But that draft can be cutthroat.
It can.
But what is it? You got a minute.
You got a minute.
Minute to win it.
You're going to have a shot clock. I'm going to play air horns once your time runs up. And if your time runs up, guess who you get? Crossbones. We're going to have 17 crossbones there just to make sure.
I have a crossbones.
Yeah, I got a crossbones too. Chuck has 4.
You would. Love it.
Guys, that said, once again, beardeddragongames.online. Make sure to check them out. Make our local game store your local game store. Professionalcasual.com. Find all of the radical podcasts that we do on this network, and it is a lot.
Radical.
It is many. We got actual plays for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. We got actual plays for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We got a couple one-shots of actual plays that we did for the Avatar The Last Airbender game by Magpie Games. We've done a handful of other stuff as well. More hot stuff coming down the pipe.
I definitely want to take a look at the new Marvel Multiverse RPG.
Yes.
Which looks pretty good.
Absolutely. We have Elite 8 Showdown for the next couple days. And, the Power Phase on Monday, twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network, where we live stream some battle reports of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Obviously, Thursday right here. Wednesdays now, we have one of our favorite people in this world. Taylor, Throwlash Gaming himself, streaming on our own Twitch.
Tactical Taylor, as Briscoe dubbed him on Wednesday.
Streaming some terrain painting, model assembly, terrain building, just doing hobby stuff. If you are into our vibe here, that is absolutely a stream to check out. That's going to be every Wednesday, I believe, 6 to 8 probably. But we'll update the Facebook and stuff if that changes. So go give us a follow there.
Definitely follow the socials. We have a weekly rundown of what's coming out every week that goes up Monday morning. I think I've set it to midnight, so it's there Monday. That tells you every day what's coming out that week.
Yeah.
So you don't miss anything.
Yeah. So
there's a lot to not miss.
We're going to be at ACO this year as well. If you are on the fence there, come and meet us, hang out, check out the stream that we'll be doing on Twitch for the Atlantic City Open.
Yeah.
For the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. That is also Mini Stravaganza weekend.
Living the con life.
So we are going to be swapping over whenever they're dropping fresh facts.
We'll be blasting it out during that. So you don't have to worry about watching Mini Stravaganza. Just watch us to get what's happening in Mini Stravaganza.
Or when Mini Stravaganza has a lull or is offline or taking a break.
Just back and forth.
Pop right back over to us. Just get 2 Twitch accounts. Open up one in each window. And
or be like Mitch. Put one on your TV, one on your computer, one on your phone.
Shout out to Mitch. Got our average viewer count on Twitch up by 30 just for making sure his Samsung fridge and all of his phones and his Roku was all set to our Twitch. Good on him.
Pretty sure his coffee maker had it going.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And his Teddy Ruxpin from 1980. I don't know how he got that. How he got Twitch on that. Man figured
terrifying.
It out.
I don't like those.
It was just us screaming about Marvel Crisis Protocol with that just dead bear mouth.
I'm gonna have nightmares now. All right. All right, I'm done. I'm out.
All right, guys. Thank you for Infinity watching us tonight. We really appreciate it. We'll see you soon. And once again, I love you. Bye.
Is that the new sign off?
I guess so.